This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Walker, and today my guest is Parker Branch from Branch Automotive, and we're going to be talking a lot about marketing budget and some of the successes that he has seen in his shop. But first, I want to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our friends at Repair Pal for providing this episode. Repair Pal is the key that unlocks more business for your repair shop. Learn more at repairpal.com/shops. And want to revolutionize your marketing? AppFuel does it all. Email, text, app notifications, and even call center integration. Stop guessing and start connecting with AppFuel. Well, hey, Parker, thank you for being with me today.
Hey, Brian, glad to be here.
So this is a little bit different. We're live at Vision right now. We're down at the end of the expo hall. So to our listeners, if you're hearing some background noise, that's why we're not in a studio. We're kind of out in the open, and we may have people coming and having conversations by us and all of that. But it kind of adds to the fun of it. These events are a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Vision's been amazing. Glad to travel. So many people traveling from all over to get here. So
yeah, how many people do you have here today?
We brought 7.
Nice. Yeah, so you see a pretty big return usually from bringing your team to events like this.
Yeah, we came a couple of years ago. It was our first time, and the level of training was just outstanding. We were pretty happy about that, and knew we wanted to come back. We had some expansion going on last year, so we felt like we couldn't budget it, and then decided to ramp up. And it's been so good this year. I think next year we may just shut down and bring the entire staff. I know quite a few shops that are doing that, and I can see the value.
Yeah, for sure. I shouldn't say it, and I say that every time. I shouldn't say it, but this is my favorite conference. I absolutely
Cool.
love the Vision Conference. But we're here today to talk about marketing. We've been working together on marketing for a few years now.
Yep.
And we say that we do top tier marketing for top tier shops, and your shop is like the epitome of that top tier shop. And it was funny because the other morning we're in the opening keynote, and Marcus Lemonis was the speaker, and he was asking all these shop owners questions, and you answered at one point, and Marcus was challenging a lot of people, and I'm like, oh, Marcus didn't know who he's talking to right now.
Oh, it was fun. We had plenty of room for growth, just like everybody else.
Yeah, we always do. But
Yeah.
I truly do believe that you and your team run a master class every day on how to run a shop.
I appreciate that. I know I heard some comments from some of the coaches in the back saying he better be careful who he picks on.
So we were just at the Institute's summit together.
Yeah, that was great.
And at the summit, you won an award for the shop with the overall highest net profit.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy to get recognized in front of all those peers and people that helped me get there. It was cool.
Well, and to have a high net profit, I mean, you've got to have top line revenue.
Absolutely, you need some cars.
And you can have top line, you can have top line revenue and have zero profit. You can have top line revenue and have negative profit, but you cannot have you can have a high percentage of profit, but you can't have a high dollar number profit if you don't have top line revenue.
Yeah, you got to have the sales volume to carry just about everything else. And that's definitely a factor of, what Shop Marketing Pros is helping us with. And from there, we have to do our part too as shop owners, reputation, doing a good job and being present in our community.
So tell us a little bit about that. What has it been like just kind of with the journey of your shop and, growing it to the shop that it is today?
Sure. Pretty similar story to a lot of shop owners, dealership technician, 20 plus years, and looking for a way to make a little more money, and decided to start the shop. And definitely for, in the beginning, we had a very basic website that we had a friend help us build that was probably pretty bad.
Mhm.
And we had a little ad budget going, a little bit of research and trying to run my own thing. And anyway, that evolved over the years, and we had some decent growth. But then when we got coached, that was a huge turning point for us to get some education so that we had more idea what we should be doing, and including marketing and everything else. And then a few years back, bringing shop marketing pros on, and we've had, gosh, since we started working together, probably close to $2 million an increase over the last 3 to 4 years of um, being in business, and the percentages that we're spending on marketing. I would look back, early on, and we weren't spending very much dollars or percentage. And when we acquired more space and needed to grow, and then I had to kind of take a leap of faith that this is going to work.
Mhm.
And you guys have definitely showed me that return on investment, that it's scary for shop owners to commit and spend the kind of money that we have to spend. But when it starts returning and you can measure the results and see what's happening, it's a no brainer for us now.
Yeah. You talk about it being scary, and we like to, like, we say we eat our own dog food. If we are telling our clients to do something, then we do it.
Right?
And I- it's one of the things that just kind of burns me up when I see, some marketing companies out there that they don't market. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Do you actually believe in what you do or not? And we spend a very high percentage on marketing, and it actually, somebody that scheduled a discovery call with us not long ago, they said, for the last year or so, I really thought that y'all were just some big marketing machine, that you just do all of this marketing for yourselves,
You have
and
great presence. Yeah.
you're not really, providing that great return to the clients. I thought that we were just all show in our marketing, that we were,
Yeah.
getting to where, which we have grown to where we are because we believe in investing in marketing and a lot of other things. But it scares me, and I market every day, or my team, I
Sure.
should say my team does, and we absolutely believe in marketing. But even for me, it's scary with some of the numbers that we spend on marketing,
Sure.
because it's so natural to look at that and say, oh man, those dollars could be going straight to the bottom line if I wasn't spending on marketing.
Then your volume might start to drop off if you didn't keep doing that. So it's
Exactly.
the same lesson, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It applies to your business, same
So
as all of us.
So tell people a little bit about your shop so that they know kind of, what Branch Automotive is.
Sure. I was an automatic transmission builder and a diesel guy for a lot of my career, and high interest in domestic diesel pickup trucks. And so that's what I decided to start the shop to service. So 90% of what we do is light duty diesel pickup trucks, passenger pickups, all domestic pickups, gas as well. We welcome. Um, tell me more what you want to know about that.
Like how many techs do you have? How many
Gotcha.
bays?
Yeah, so started in a little 2 bay shop. As we grew, we were able to buy an Amco down the street from us about 4 years in, and that was an 8 bay shop we moved into. So we operated in there for about the last 11 years. A couple years ago, we had grown so much that we were leasing parking from our neighbor, and which, our shop's on a little half-acre lot in, Littleton, so parking was a challenge for us. We only have about 20 spaces, and even at that time we had 11 employees, and we're seeing 30 trucks a day pretty much. So we started leasing parking from the neighbor, and when he decided to shut down and sell during COVID, and so we were pretty terrified. What are we going to do about this parking situation? And long story short, we had to buy that building, and $3 million later, purchasing the building that wasn't even really usable to us, and quite a bit of construction costs to get into that space. And a little over 2 years, we were actually able to pick up 6 more bays. So we now have 14 bays between both buildings. We have 4 service advisors up front, a service manager or store manager, who Daniel. office manager. I'm still there every day, kind of filling in all the gaps.
Yeah.
And 7 technicians, and we do diesel emission testing. We have a tester, Kurt, that takes care of that for us as well.
Plenty of parking now.
Now we picked up. Well, we built a salon next door as well, so we had to give them some parking. But we picked up about 30 spaces for the shop, which has made the difference to keep us going.
Very cool. Yep, I've been to Parker's shop, and it is such a like well used space. I've seen shops where they've wasted the space that they do have, or it's just a poor layout. And everything about both of your shops is just an excellent layout and an excellent use of space.
Thank you. Yeah, we were happy to have the new space, because the original shop, it's an old Amco, so we have 8 bays crammed into 3,800 square feet. So you're rubbing elbows when you're in that shop. So we looked really pretty amazing on paper as far as dollars per square foot in there. And the new space, there's enough room that it's a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Tainted those numbers a little bit, but we're working on them with your help.
So, those of you who are listening, as you listen to this podcast, you're going to be thinking to yourself, Brian, you're just trying to convince us to spend more money on marketing. And that is absolutely the fact. I am trying to convince you to spend more money on marketing. And like in the case of Parker, we charge a flat fee.
Sure.
When you come to us and you're talking to us about should I be spending more, that money doesn't come to us.
Right.
That money is going to places like Google or to Meta, to do advertising, to be able to put the message out there even more. And that's how it is with all of our clients. We charge a flat fee for the service that we do. We do not get a percentage of the budget or anything. So when we're trying to get people to spend more money on marketing, it is self-serving in the simple fact that we want the marketing that we do for our shops to just blow up.
Sure.
We
have to do our part as an owner to commit to that. And and I'm probably the same as, so many of you out there, and that not sure I could afford to spend what I needed to spend, certainly percentage wise in that. But along the way, that you do need to market, and Shop Marketing Pros is awesome. The team that I deal with, Danny and Hallie, pretty regularly. We have marketing is not my favorite subject for myself. It's it's just not. However, I will say that like Danny, my rep, she makes it so much more enjoyable. We get on our call monthly, and I challenge her, and you guys know that I've sent that all the way up to the top at times.
Yep.
Of hey, there was a point in time where the new space opened up last year, and we were like, boy, we need some more cars now. And went back and challenged, hey, how is our ad spend? Not that I want to spend more, but is there a reason that I should be? And your team was able to go back and do some research and come back and say, you know what, you actually are falling a little bit short on your spend in terms of keeping your campaigns running and active throughout the entire month. And even then, it was a small change. I think we upped a specific budget like $500 a month, and we have an ARO. If you take our emissions testing and stuff, our ARO is in multiple thousands. And Danny came back and said, I think we can get you another 9 cars a month at least. And it happened. And so, yes, I was reluctant. And then afterwards, I was like, thank goodness I did that. It made sense. We're seeing a return on it. We can measure it with your team's help. We don't have to figure that stuff out. We definitely have to participate and challenge and be there. But you certainly have made it, for something that so many of us don't like to have to deal with. That's why I love working with you guys. It takes it off my plate most of the way.
So we basically have two different types of shop owners that we work with, or I could break it down this way anyhow. In that we have some that each month they're asking us, how can I spend less on marketing? And then some who will come to us and say, should I be spending more on marketing? And we try to make it a point to be the ones who are going to our clients and saying, hey, we see an opportunity, and here's where you should be spending more. And I'd be lying to you if I told you that that always happened. I mean, in this case, you just told us, you came to us,
Yeah.
and we should be bringing that to you, every time. But the majority of the clients that we work with are like, how can I spend less on marketing? And from your experience,
Which to me, the the funny thing about that is it might be that their spend is already too low.
yeah,
They don't have enough revenue or car count and leads, and that's why they're trying to figure out where to cut the budget. So it's almost counterintuitive.
it,
Geez, I'm not making enough money. I need to cut my expense. I'm going to cut marketing. Well,
yeah.
that's
Well,
that's
and
kind of the backwards way of thinking about it.
statistically, because just like many of you shop owners are in peer groups, I'm in a peer group also. And the group that I'm with is a company called Agency Management Institute, and they're an amazing company, and they do they hire firms to do research studies, um, all around marketing. And it is a statistical fact that anytime that there is, an economic downturn or people start feeling pressure in their business, the first place they cut is marketing.
Yeah.
But it is the absolute worst place to cut, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You cut marketing because what people don't tend to realize now, our great shop owners realize this. The ones who have truly become business people, they understand this. But marketing, it doesn't raise everything, or it raises everything across the board, but it doesn't level out the work. If you historically always have a slow February and you start doing marketing, well, your next February, it'll be higher than the previous February, but it's still going to be a low point in the year. And if you have,
Yeah, you can't change the trends.
yeah,
And it's funny because we have 15 going on 16 years in business now, and my manager's a real, Excel numbers kind of, he likes to geek out on all that stuff. And we had a terrific January, our best January ever by quite a bit.
yeah,
And February was pretty low. It dropped off. And I talked to, I'm coached by the Institute still. Jennifer Holbert's my coach, and um, talking to her, talking to other shops in my group, as well as I do some coaching for them one on one for a few shops now. And we were hearing, it's slow everywhere. And there are shops that had great Februarys, absolutely. There's shifts and how that happens. But back to Daniel, he's got 10 years graphed of our sales on his computer on the homepage, and we share an office together. And he's like, hey, turn around, take a look at this. February is always, always one of the down months, and we
yeah,
can see which months on that graph, and it just kind of correlates. And in the past, we've tried throwing a ton of money at some of those specific time frames with not a whole lot of success, but by being consistent with what we're doing, to your point, we're not happy with how this February is going, but it's the best February we've ever had.
yeah. And that's what
So
I love to
that's,
tell people
yeah.
is think of how bad it would be if you were not doing marketing.
Yeah, it definitely, I've seen where it would amplify that even more. So, January's not typically the busiest month for us. We had like a $375,000 January, pretty decent January. We'd like it to be better, but isn't that the nature of all of us shop owners and techs and advisors? We all want to succeed.
Yeah. Now, you were telling me when we were at the summit, you were telling me about an experience that you had where you were looking at another shop's financials.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in Denver, we had our ASA summit just a little while ago, and before I had seen you in Florida, and a local shop there, there was a presenter that was a CPA firm, and he had permission from a local multi-shop owner who's a real good friend of mine. I guess I say Al and Alex Oramus, Pro Auto Care, and he shared his financials with Kaizen, and so we were in there doing a little accounting class at the summit. And as he was going through some of the line items and stuff, I looked at their advertising spend popped up, and I thought, Oh, now here's an interesting thing. He has two stores. His two stores together are just a little bit ahead of where we have one large store. So he's a little bit ahead of us in gross revenue. And he, well, I say a little, he's north of $1 million ahead of us. So a significant difference cumulatively. And when I looked at his marketing number dollars, month over month, and I was like, man, he's outspending me, 2-3 thousand a month. And percentage wise, I suppose if I looked at it, maybe it was 20% or so difference. And what do you know, he's doing about 20% more business
Yeah.
than we are. So that prompted me to talk to you, Brian, and raise the question with Danny as well, like, do I need to be spending more money, because we do need to get some more car count and continue. We want to keep growing. You're either growing or you're dying, they say, and we certainly want to keep growing. Then, so I brought that up to you, that I had seen that data and kind of challenged you to take it back to the team, or whatever you guys thought was appropriate. Like, what should we be doing? Like, let's look at it again. Can you guys look at me and give me some advice? What makes sense? And you've done some of that, and I've gotten some good feedback, and I think we're pretty close to taking some more action.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when you're a smaller shop and you're running that smaller budget, then the type of marketing that you're going to be doing is the stuff that is going to lead to directly to cars coming in the door. So your Google ads and your SEO and all of that. But once you have kind of maxed that out and you're looking to continue to grow, at that point is where we can really do some cool things with brand building. And that is going to be like, that's your top tier shops. We've got one of our shop owners that we're doing that for right now heavily, and that's Chris Cotton. Some of y'all know Chris from the Weekly Blitz podcast. He's a coach, but he's also a shop owner, just like Parker's a coach and a shop owner. And Chris believes heavily in marketing, just like you do. And he bought a shop last year, and the numbers that they're doing this year, they're doing in a month what they used to do in a quarter, just 1 year ago.
That's awesome.
And it's because of those things. So there's a lot that you can do, and the brand building, it's a little bit tougher to get people to do, because with a Google ad, we can show you, we did this ad, this person clicked on it, they came in, and then you can go in and match it up and
say, it's easier to measure that much, versus you just have to have some understanding of how it works and faith with the brand recognition stuff. But we're to that point where we hear the feedback from some of our customers and family, whoever. We try to get everybody we know to share and like us, and but like you said, it is harder to measure, but it really does have an impact to keeping us front of mind for people.
Yeah. Now, I want to be clear. All right, I'm a marketer. I believe in marketing, but marketing is definitely not the only thing that leads to having a shop like Parker's.
Oh, yeah.
It is about being a business person. It is about knowing every number in your shop. It's about processes and procedures, and having great technicians and everything else. So
yeah, we have to do our job with the customer experience, really trying to wow people, make them feel cared for, and hope that they're going to run out and tell their closest friends or anybody that talks about getting the diesel truck worked on. We want our customers to be so happy with us that they're going to run out and say it. And then the marketing to support that, when people hear those recommendations and so forth, and your market has already been saturated with our advertising, there's a good chance they're going to recognize that name, or, oh yeah, I know where that is, I've seen that sign. And so it's all part of the puzzle. We have our work to do as well at the shop.
But I think the worst thing that somebody can do is pour marketing dollars into a poorly run shop. And so if your shop is not running well, if you don't have the efficiencies in place, if you're not fixing the cars, if your service advisors are not good on the phone, I tell people all the time, invest that money in coaching first.
Yeah.
But once you have a shop that's running solid, it is a well-run shop, that's when marketing is how you pour the fuel on the fire.
It's funny how you say that, that you would tell potential client that, hey, you need to spend time and money getting coaching and understanding how to run your business so that you handle it well and can be there, succeed and last, and then worry about getting a marketing budget built and stuff like that. And many of the clients that I coach are one-on-one shop owners that are maybe just starting to get going, or have been trying to go for a while and having some struggles and decided, hey, we need some help. They reached out, and so I'll really work with them in the beginning to understand what their shop is like, what kind of staffing is the next step for them, how to get their margins and procedures kind of in alignment. And pretty quickly, when some of that basic stuff is in alignment, I'm like, now you need a website, and not what you have. So many of them, might have a website and there's no content. It's just a picture of the building and a click here for an appointment. And I never really understood that until getting to work with y'all about the content. So I have to tell people, look, once you've got to have a good website, reach out to the shop marketing pros, or do your research, do your homework, find somebody. But not many of us go to a website and surf all through the website.
Right.
We all know that, but Google does.
They do.
And so that's what you all have taught me, is the importance of the content being related to and driving the exact ideal customer that you want, and all the things they may be searching for, to have all that content in the website, which you guys, we helped you understand who we are, gave you a lot of material, and then you crafted a really, sweet setup that drives those Google clicks. So, if there's somebody out there listening that, maybe this will help them understand that, why do I need a good website? Well, when somebody's searching for your diesel repair shop because their wrench light's on their Ford, and Shop Marketing Pros has done a blog for you on that because you mentioned that might be one of your ideal customers, and the results of stuff like that is what actually brings you up when they're searching on their phone or whatever. So learning experience, sharing experience too.
Yeah, let's talk about that for just a second too, and then we'll close out. But it's such an important thing. We love all of our clients, but we have some of our clients that are pure joy to work with, and Branch Automotive is one of those, and it is because you truly work with us.
Yeah,
if we need something, we
and
ask for it.
I'm
you
guilty
get it
at
to
times.
us.
They have to get after me, and I tell the team. I think I don't remember if I was emailing with Danny or who before I came out here, and because that last email, we were going to work on a couple different new ad types and stuff that Brian had suggested, and I had been at the summit, and then I was in Mexico, and now here, and so I was on the run, and I told her, will you please poke me, when I get back from this? And she did that in between. I was on vacation and before I came here, and I said, please poke me again next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to do our part, and like videos, what an uncomfortable thing that can be for us to do. And I probably do some more. JR Portman had done some great classes for y'all on, encouraging us to do those videos. I've done more and more of them. And even though I feel like I look like an idiot sometimes on those videos, the engagement that is measurable, that people are seeing it, liking it, and that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you were washing out the cooling stack from a truck the other day.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
And that video, first of all, I was amazed by how much crap was in that cooling stack.
Oh, yeah. You look at a radiator, if the front of it's packed, you can't imagine what's in those cooling fins. And so we do a service on the diesel trucks where we take, all the coolers off the front of the truck, turn them around and reverse pressure wash them, degrease them. And we did a slow motion video showing the debris coming out of those cooling fins that you couldn't even see. Like, you would think it looks all right, and you couldn't see daylight through it. But yeah, we slow motion that video and then send it to your team, and what they put together is really cool.
The cool thing about that is no one was talking in that video. No one's face was in that video. Like it. So there's nobody to say, I don't like the way I sound or the way that I look.
Yeah.
And y'all do this kind of stuff. Maybe things like that is not a daily occurrence, but there's something like that that happens in your shop at least once a week.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is the easiest thing in the world to
Pull
just
that
pull out a
phone
cell
out,
phone
yeah.
and make the video. And I mean, you talk about you did the slow motion. Literally on the iPhone, you change the settings
Yeah,
to slow
it's
mo
easy.
and record it.
Yeah, Daniel, my manager, he got kind of fired up about it and wanted to really raise the game up on how well we show people what that's actually doing.
Yeah.
And gosh, I need to get that thing looping on the TV in the waiting room so that people can even further understand.
I'm sitting here thinking about it. The team may have already thought about it, and you may already be doing it, but we should be doing a blog about that. We put
Yeah.
the video in the blog.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I need to see if that was one of the actual blogs or not, and if not, then we'll put some more content together and run it, because that's one of our favorite services to do for our customers, because it makes such a difference. We're at elevation in Denver, and everybody hits I-70 and starts climbing the mountain with the camper or the boat or whatever. And we do that service, and we've seen as much as 25-degree change in cooling system
Wow.
temperatures. On a new truck, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So, there are a lot of owners out there that they love being in the shop. They don't care about going on the vacation like what Parker was just talking about, or being able to live that lifestyle. But these, auto repair can be a great business.
Oh, absolutely.
And it can provide a very nice lifestyle. I know some owners who do it well, that they they have their hobbies. They go on vacation.
I want to be more like those guys.
But they live a very nice lifestyle, and it's not all work all the time. I mean, look, when we work, we all work hard, but there is a time for play, and you can have that. But that comes down to building a shop that is run incredibly well, truly becoming a business person, staying on top of the numbers, being willing to invest in marketing, and then
recognizing that it's a journey. It's a work in progress. I'm there every day,
yeah,
and engaged, and it's not on cruise control. So if you're thinking that all of a sudden you're not going to have to do anything, that's kind of never going to be the case. But certainly it's the success we've had has given us some freedom where we take vacations just like everybody else.
yeah. So anyway, I appreciate you being on here today.
Yeah.
And it's easy for me to sit here and tell you to spend more on marketing, but to have what I consider a very successful shop owner to tell you from their own experience, I just wanted you all to hear that. So I really appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
that.
Thanks for having me, Brian. It's been great working with Shop Marketing Pros, and to address the people that might be watching and considering or thinking about this too. If you have Shop Marketing Pros working for you, you can challenge them. Hey, what makes sense for me, and to get that feedback, and then actually be able to measure and see the results. I mean, what more can we ask for as a shop owner for something that most of us feel like is magic?
And we want you to challenge us.
Yeah.
Like that, we welcome that, and we appreciate it very much.
Awesome.
So to those of you who are listening, we really appreciate you giving us some of your time today. Remember, we're just one of a handful of podcasts on the Aftermarket Radio Network. You can find the others at aftermarketradionetwork.com. I hope that you'll tune in again next week, and until then, go fill those bays.